Wings of Fire has a language, and now that we know it, we can find a lot of interesting things. Let's take a look. First of all, I'd like to make a couple corrections to my last video. At the end of it, I included a chart of all the letters, and somehow managed to forget one. I had a couple of other errors, including mixing up the words space and blank a couple times, and forgetting that I had a letter solved a couple times during the voiceover. Next up, we have a couple more things to try to decode. First of all, we have this on page 24, which has a mix of our existing alphabet, along with some new characters in a completely different script. Let's take a look at this page and see if we can decode anything. Unfortunately, I don't have a font this time, so pictures of each letter will have to do for now. One thing I noticed immediately was the presence of glyphs like these with circles. In the language I decoded last video, glyphs like these represent vowels, and if we assume this is true in the new language as well, then we can look at patterns of consonants and vowels to find out words. This one goes vowel, 2 consonants, another vowel, 2 more consonants, a vowel, and then another 2 consonants. This pattern matches the word albatross perfectly, which would make sense given that this is in the context of the Summer Palace, where albatross was heavily involved. Additionally, the positions of the word where there would be 2 repeats of a letter are consistent in the mystery word and albatross. For example, there are 2 of the same letters at the end of the mystery word, and at the word albatross. Solving the word albatross gives us the letters A, B, L, O, R, S, and T. Up here, we have some more text, which reads S, vowel, 2 consonants, another vowel, and another consonant. This pattern matches the word summer perfectly, which would again make sense given the context of the Summer Palace, including the double letters in the middle of the word. MM, and then 2 mystery letters. Next up, we have a word that reads S consonant vowel RE. There's a line connecting the word to one of the spires of the palace image, and the letters of the word fit the word spire perfectly. So, it's pretty safe to assume that the missing letters are P and I. This might be a bit of a stretch, but I noticed that a lot of the letters look very similar to the ones in the Latin alphabet. If we make some assumptions about this, I think these letters here look very similar to the Latin letters G and H. And if we combine this bit of text with a similar portion on the other side of the image, we get a text reading B consonant consonant, E consonant G H, which would perfectly fit the start of the alphabet minus the letter A. We actually see this pattern twice, the second time scattered across the center of the image. Now, in the previous video, we found multiple typos in the language, and this time is no different. This text spells out A consonant COR, which might be a misspelling of the word anchor. If this is true, we only get the letter N from this, though, which is unfortunate. And with that, we've decoded all the Seaway text we have, and unfortunately fall short of a complete alphabet. We are missing 7 letters: J, K, Q, V, W, Y, and Z. Before we continue, I'd just like to thank everyone who liked, subscribed, and commented on my last video. It really blew up thanks to all of your support, and I would appreciate it if we could get this video to do the same. Now, let's get back to the video. The Seawing language is definitely interesting, but it's very similar to the Nightwing language. However, we have a chance to look at something unique. On page 142 of the Guide to the Draken World, we get to see a small part of the Icewing ranking wall, and it is written in a completely different language from the one we know. Unfortunately, there's so little information about it, it's almost certainly impossible to translate even a couple of words. You see, I haven't been entirely honest. What we've decoded in the past isn't exactly a language. It's really just a fancy way of writing English, just with different looking letters. However, I think the piece of the ranking wall is a language, or at the very least, a completely different writing system than the Latin alphabet. If you decode anything, even just a couple letters or words, please let me know in the comments, and I can try my best to help. There's one last thing I'd like to cover, that being my analysis of some text written in the dragon language. When 3 moons rise, a dragon's choice split fate's line. I believe this is referring to Darkstalker's choice to keep the power to himself and not hatch Whiteout's egg early. And with that, that's everything I'd like to cover this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell, and I'll see you next time.